It's a someday.
Ta-da!
It's a someday. It's a someday. Everybody do the someday dance. I don't even know.
Hey, we could have done that for at least 20 minutes.
That's probably true. Welcome to the Morning DNA for November 12th, 2020. I'm Aaron Dicer, the man of a single black shirt. She is, Danae says, the woman of a million distractions. She's also named Danae Hughes, but goes by Danae says on Twitter.
Is my Instagram handle, my Twitter handle, and now has just become my name.
Yes, it's just your name now because that's just how I say it.
Man,
welcome. We're going to find out what this day is made of. What are you doing?
Look what I'm using today.
That is a honey dipper, right?
Yes,
specifically
I forgot
designed
my spoon.
so that the honey gets in the little crevices and then drips off nicely, and yeah.
Right. But then whenever you forget the spoon, you just use it to stir your coffee. So hopefully there's no long-term ramifications, like, you know, the coffee absorbing into the wood and then making the honey taste like coffee. Hopefully that's not a thing. I want to apologize straight off the bat because I moved all of my equipment because I'll talk about everything kind of more, like what's going on in my world, but I moved everything into the other part of my office, and I forgot to plug in my nice camera today. So it's just the light is already going in and out, and I apologize in advance if that annoys you guys. So
well, thank you for the heads up.
Sorry about that.
Looks fine to me. Nick says someday fun day. I don't. Let's just say fun day. Someday fun day. I
kind of like fun. I'm down with that.
And then Craig says, can't wait to hear them talk about licking batteries. Somebody has been listening to one of the podcasts that we're on. That was funny. Do you want to quickly,
my gosh,
for people who maybe don't listen to that podcast, tell that story because you learned something last time we podcasted together.
Yeah.
About why things happen the way they do.
We were talking about odd flavors that just were coming to mind, and one of them for me was when I chewed on a piece of tin foil, and it made my mouth go crazy. And so then we're just kind of starting to think about weird things, and I think it was our friend Jonathan brought up licking a battery, and so we're talking about
a weird, like that electric shock. You know, is a weird thing, like testing a battery, with your tongue.
And Aaron and Jonathan are like, "Oh yeah, that's so weird." And I said something along the lines of like, "I've never been able to make it work." And Aaron explains that you have to have your tongue on both the positive and the negative part of the battery.
Right, you have to complete the circuit,
which made my brain circuit short circuit because I was like, what are you talking about?
How do you do that? I
have been trying to feel the electric vibration by licking a battery. Every time I've tried it, I'm going to say at least a dozen times. I've always used a AA battery. Nicely done, Danae Hughes. Doesn't work that way. But the good news is I wasn't trying to get my tongue on both sides. So I wasn't just like, la, 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 like just trying to flip it around really quickly. I literally was just putting my tongue on one side going, I got nothing, guys.
Here. I don't understand what's going on.
I'm just licking a battery. And then I thought it was just a joke, like lick your elbow kind of a thing.
How is lick your elbow a joke?
I don't know. You can't.
It's a joke. You can't lick your elbow.
Right. So you can't lick a battery.
I see. I see. Got it.
Like a prank.
Well, Danae, you have unfortunately set some expectations for our lovely audience, and they are going to continue to beg until it becomes a staple on the Morning DNA. All I see in the chat is puppy cam, bring back the puppy cam.
Okay, I went to go set the puppy cam up this morning for you guys. I was really excited about it, but then they're hearing noises outside, and so they're just like going nuts.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be sort of a frustrating puppy cam, especially if it's just them barking constantly. Yeah. But now they're calm, so I could try to set something up, but
maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe we'll just set it up. And hey, listen, we don't have to show it if they're, just being crazy or whatever.
I wonder if I should just go on Instagram and stream Puppy Cam Live and see how many people leave our show and go to
that one. Unfortunately, like all of them.
But to answer your
puppies
questions,
are amazing.
Thank you so much for asking. They're doing super, super great. They're happy puppies. This morning they got extra love. My daughter is learning how to interact with them in a really sweet way. She's 3, so she's prone to like outbursts of energy and like grabbing them and stuff. And so there's been this adjustment period, but they're really finding that little sweet spot of friendship where they follow each other around, and she plays with them. And just yesterday, Reese's, the dark one, grabbed my shoe off the floor and brought it up onto the couch to chew on it. She goes over and she says, Reese's, no, not a bad dog. You don't eat a stinky shoe.
You tell him.
And then she grabs the shoe, puts it away, and comes back and says, you're a naughty dog, but I sure love you. And she leans in and starts kissing on him and stuff. And I'm like, that's stuff I do. So it's really funny to see me.
It's almost as if she's
out.
watching you to figure out how to interact in the world. I don't know. Call me crazy, but kids and their parents, right?
She's going to be a fun one to watch grow up. That's for sure.
Yeah. Just as she continues to grow and find her independence and her own individuality, you will begin to see the parts of you that maybe you're not happy to see sometimes.
I've heard this before, so I'm ready. I think I'm just
the mirror's great at this age. I love looking in that tiny little cute mirror at mini me. But medium-sized me, that mirror is a little bit interesting sometimes. So
this morning I was using a silly voice to Justin in the other room, and I was like, but I don't wanna, just doing this. Like, I don't even remember what I said, but it was something that had that tone to it.
Wow, strange. You doing a silly voice.
She turns to me, she goes, Mama, this is a no whine zone. We don't whine in this house. And I was like, oh, okay, so whining is like an intention of the heart and voice situation. Mommy's just playing. Right. Yeah, this is going to be hard to explain.
It's part of the journey.
It's fun. We're having a good time, though.
Caleb, this is the perfect distraction while I'm stuck on the side of the road out of gas. Dude. Now, listen, quick. No judgment. I've been there.
I've been there.
And I know for a fact Danae's been there.
Many times.
And so it happens. We all, push it or don't realize or gas gauges break or whatever happens. So no judgment here. But, dude.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Everything going all right? Like,
do you need someone to use their AAA to your advantage during the show? That's crazy.
We were just talking about batteries. I'm like, what would a AAA battery do? It's not. You can't get gas from a AAA battery, Danae. That's not how that works.
I'm liking this one from Nick. Does this mean that Aaron's 4 boys are clones of him? Now all I can hear is, hi, diddly ho, Cinerinos in stereo.
Quadrio, or whatever that would be called.
Yeah.
Danae, you answer that question. Are my boys clones of me?
They have a lot of you in them, yes.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
oh, my gosh. I wish I had this prepared, my brain. So there's this picture of Aaron. I don't even remember what year it's from.
Okay.
But he has like a goatee and wild curly hair. Did you just like crimp it, or was it?
I had
dread like
cornrows,
you had like
a
curls.
tight braid. I had like really tight braids, and I had just undone the braids, and they'd been up for a while. So it was just
crazy hair.
Yeah.
It's like out and wild. This
I can
big
find the picture
poof.
Probably.
Well, it's funny
Continue
because
talking.
it's in my history because we shared it way back in the day on the radio, and so it's in like my pictures, and so every once in a while it'll come up and be like memories from 2000 and whenever, and I'm like, that's not me or anyone in my family. That's Aaron's face. I came across that just a couple days ago, and it looks just like Christian, just like one of your sons. Yeah, and because he has the big curly hair. Anyways, it did remind me about just that they are extensions of your personality. Although I think that they have way more snark than Aaron does.
Well,
they've got a nice dose of teenage snark. Yeah, so they haven't had the simmer time that Aaron has.
Is he the one you think is most like me?
Visually, yes. Yeah. Personality-wise, I don't get to hang out with your kids like you do.
No, that's true.
So
all right, I got it. I got the picture.
You got the picture?
You want to see
You're
it?
Save it? Are you really going to share it?
Sure. Do you want to see it?
Oh, buckle down, y'all. This is one of my favorite Aaron pictures
which one
of all time. And I'm not even kidding. There's some really, really funny ones. This one's one of my favorites.
How's that?
You guys, look at
How's that? How we doing? How's everybody doing?
Oh my gosh.
How's
I think
everybody dealing with this?
Stunned. The chat has stalled to a complete stop. Everyone is just stunned. Yeah, so this is Aaron back in the day. It's just a great picture overall because it seems like it's like capturing you in this like crazy moment.
The Sideshow Bob is, yes, it is the Sideshow Bob do for real.
Yeah. It's a
your
fun
responses.
one. Yeah, me too.
We should do this occasionally, where it's like a crazy picture of me that you probably never wanted to see, but feel free to gawk at. Yeah, I have been very keen to show my individuality throughout my years. So it is not strange for me to have a carrot top. That's not a bad call either. It does kind of have a red look to it in that picture, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I've always had kind of a little bit of a red tinge to my hair. You just never really, see it, especially when I was a kid. So, yep. There you go.
I like how Slab's like screenshot taken for Discord later.
Sure.
You're like, my mother in the chat. Everyone, shout out to my mom, Breezy Lady B on Twitch. Yeah, she definitely has a lot of photos of me. We could share some really, really embarrassing things for sure. And the good news is we have time to do so, especially when we get to go live on some days. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Thank you for being here with us. We have such a great time on the morning show with you.
Yeah.
So today has been, I was really excited to be able to text you this morning and be like, okay, I'm ready. Because it's been we haven't been able to do a Sunday in a week and a half, 2 weeks.
We missed a Monday for the first time last week. So yeah, so it's nice to kind of get back into a little bit of a groove.
I'm feeling better.
You ready to shoe a dough?
Ready? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, we will do it then. We're going to do the DNA in you, as we usually do. We'll have a D topic, an A topic, and a U topic. So Danae will bring something to the table to chat about, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well. I'll bring something to the table to chat about, and we'll hear your thoughts about it. And then you will bring something to the table to talk about. You can put that in the chat now. If you do, please put a capital U at the beginning so that it's really easy to spot. The easier you make it for us to spot, the more likely we will to answer that question or talk about that topic. Can be any topic you want to hear us talk about, any question you have for us, but we will finish the show off with those at the end. So as always, Danae, what is your topic?
Okay. It's a quick one. It's an easy one. It's foremost on my mind. What is a first for you this year? Maybe even one that's unexpected. I think sometimes we start the year like, this year I'm going to do blank. And we try to figure out what we're going to do. Of course, 2020 is a whirlwind of insanity. But
there's plenty of firsts this year that I'm not exactly excited to talk about.
That's kind of what I was going to skirt around. Absolutely, Your answer could be related to the situation of our world right now with the pandemic going on. But apart from that was where I landed. I was asked to speak at a conference, and that's first for me. And I have to tell you guys about it a little bit because I think it's fun to share learning. I learned a lot about myself. I was super, super prepared. I wrote and rewrote what I was going to talk about probably a dozen times. And then the conference started at 9 a.m., and I was speaking at 3. So I was actually finishing up the conference. I was kind of like the end of the whole thing. And the entire conference day was dedicated to like podcasting and other kind of elements like that, other digital style elements. And it's for the radio community who are trying to figure out what podcasting and radio means to them and everything. And this is our peer group from when we were on radio together for so long.
Yeah.
And so
did you know a lot of the people there? Okay, cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of faces that I have recognized, people I've interacted with, people that I've actually already consulted with on podcasting and like heard about what they want to do and tried to help them find the best path to get there, that kind of a thing. But here I am, like an actual guest speaker, not just someone in the crowd, sharing ideas and thoughts, but I'm like actually like investing into this. And it was this really cool feeling. So anyway, the conference starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I'm attending. I decided I wanted to attend every single thing I could. And there were a lot of mentions about podcasting throughout. So 30 minutes before I speak, I rewrite everything again because they had brought up really great things that I was kind of going to touch on, but I didn't want to repeat things that had already been talked about. And so I just reformatted it all. I typed it out. But because I had prepared so much, it was like no big deal. And so maybe I can pull up my Instagram and show you guys a picture of what my desk looks like, or you can go to Instagram and just search for Danae Says. I put a picture up there. My desk was just covered in notes. I had long paper notes. I had sticky notes. I had this. And then on my computer, which I didn't show, were 15 pages in like really big font on Word that were up there so I could just read my screen and kind of just keep my flow or whatever. I was so proud of myself.
Nicely done.
So not only was it like a first for me to speak, but the reason I'm telling you all this, you guys, is because it's a first for me to actually be insanely prepared. Because I can talk about stuff about podcasting without really thinking too hard about it.
Right.
We talk about it all the time. It's just kind of part of my day. But I really was like, I don't know. It was an interesting experience for me to go, whoa, I know what the heck I'm doing. I feel really good about this. And
there's a really nice feeling of competence, right? When you put the energy into preparing for something and doing something well, there's a really nice feeling that comes along with that of it's not an arrogance. It's not a, I'm better than anybody else because I can do this. It's more of just a confident competence of, I belong here. This is okay for me. We all deal with imposter syndrome a little bit in our lives because we all know ourselves as children, teenagers. We know our whole life and we have always been us. And sometimes that can mean when you try to do new things or experience new things, you have imposter syndrome. You're like, I'm still just the little kid who, missed the spelling bee in 5th grade or whatever, whatever it is. I'm that dork. And so we deal with imposters. Why do these people look up to me? What do I have to say that's so important or interesting? And, getting past that is a good feeling in knowing that there's a competence to what you do and understanding it's okay for you to realize that you are good at something or that you are capable or that you have knowledge. Those are perfectly fine things for you to actualize in your spirit, in your life. So I'm glad you had that feeling.
There is my desk.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you guys can see that very well.
That's amazing. Of course, the best is the upper right-hand corner. Yay!
That's a card somebody sent to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other really cool part for me, and then I'm going to go into like new things that you've done, and whether you're like really proud about it or like whatever your situation is. For me, it was an unexpected, thing. Was the last half was all questions from the audience. So being able to just like volley back and forth and ask direct questions from my peers and just feel I was so energized. I wasn't drained. I wasn't scared. I was having such fun that the rest of the day I was on this buzz. And so that's a fun thing about something new too. Sometimes you do something new, it's like, oh, that was a bummer. But this was one of those new things for me where I got to step out on a platform in front of people who I used to be really intimidated by. And now I'm like, I love that we get to do this together kind of a thing. I don't know. It's just this really interesting kind of reflection like you're talking about, that imposter syndrome that I've struggled with and probably always will to a certain degree.
Sure. So I think it's normal. I think it's natural.
That's what I was going to talk to you about today.
Very nice. Let's go to the chat. Plenty of examples of people's firsts from the year. So Polly says, first year never going to a theater.
Wow. At all, even in the first part of the year. Wow.
A lot of people don't go January, February, March anyway, because there's not a lot of huge movies that come out then. So yeah, that's probably true for many people. Big one for a couple people. Played D&D for the first time this year. Elizabeth says. Addis417 also says, played D&D for the first time this year.
Man, it's a fun game to play whenever you're stuck at home and you want to connect on the internet with friends and laugh and just do something interactive. It's a fun game for sure.
I connect with this one quite a bit. Nick says, last night I watched Bridge on the River Kwai for the first time, and it's the first time I've seen Sir Alec Guinness as not Obi-Wan Kenobi. That is an experience I've had this year too, with not having to go to as many movies. I've caught up on a lot of classic movies. And so that is a common experience to me, like watching an old movie and being like, oh, there's the guy I know as old guy actor, as young guy actor, and it's beautiful. It's so great to understand, that the world was around before you were, like it seems like an obvious thing, but honestly, until you actually deal with it and think about it, people living their lives, and I don't know. It's just for me, movies is a kind of an insight into a lot of those things. So that's been really fun for me to watch some movies from like the 30s, 40s, 50s.
I remember that first time in my real life, not watching a movie, but in my real life, when I was like, oh, I'm not the center of the universe. I was actually
you're the center of your universe, but in general,
I remember the thought came to me like, my parents existed before me, and they were my age once too. Like, it's just so fun, those things that we think of sometimes. I like this one from Soonerfan 4321. First time watching DNA today. Woo woo!
Hey!
Hello. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to a someday.
Archimedes Amazonas says, I learned how to make sushi. Is that a first thing? Well, yeah, it's a first thing.
I mean, if it's the first time you've done it, then yeah, that would absolutely count.
I think rolling the sushi would be very difficult. Do you like sushi, Aaron?
It takes a special kind of sushi for
Is it the plain
taster.
One? Or it's like
about as plain as you can get. I don't mind fish, like crab is in some of them, I think. Those kind of things are good
sometimes
taste to me.
Eel, sometimes raw tuna.
Rice is a pretty bland taste. The seaweed, depends-ish. But then there's like the sauces they put in there, and that's generally where I go a little weird. The second time you make sushi, it'll be making tushi. So just
oh, that's so funny.
He said tushi.
Slab, bringing it home for all of us. The first quarantine
thanks,
this year.
Thanks, Slab. Appreciate it.
Hey, we all got that on our bingo card this year.
Yes, we did. Indeed, we all got to mark that one off. Yeah, for me, this show for me is kind of what I think of as one of the big firsts. You and I have done a show for a long time.
Yeah. But
kind of envisioning it and creating it together in this format and launching it, a few months ago is kind of my favorite first of the year. Because it's the first time I think it's the first time we've done a show in this way where it feels so perfect. So
it feels like it's supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
So much so, guys, that when Aaron and I were talking about whether or not I was ever going to return back to the official DNA studio that he is in right now, we were like, nah. So even though
we like this too much,
I could literally go out, get in my car, drive, and appear on his screen in just a few minutes.
Yes, in 5 minutes you could be in this room there. On this screen. Yes, we'll have to try that someday.
We're still doing it this way.
We'll cut to puppy cam. I'll keep talking.
You just see me running out of the room.
That's right. If you're willing to use a little mobile data, we could cut to transportation cam, and you could film the whole ride over here.
Okay, I'm super okay with this. Let's get through the holidays so that I can,
I mean, there is the privacy part of,
that's true. That's
seeing,
true.
where your house is and where my house is, and those kind of things that you have to be aware of in this modern day.
Way to ruin the idea.
Hey, I'm just that's what I'm here for, Debbie Downer, Dicer Downer. Yes, but yes, she could absolutely do that.
Caleb says, I went on my first vacation without my family. Of course, this was before COVID, says Caleb. Oh my gosh, isn't that fun? Like that first time whenever you do your family vacations with your family, maybe every summer or whatever your guys' routine is, or as often as you're able to as a family. And then you start your own life apart from them and you go on vacation. Like, this is so different. There's no expectations from mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or siblings. It's just you and your buds and whatever you want to do. Man, growing up is fun.
It is. I feel like we have to put this up here just because it's cross-platform and Sooner fan will never see it if we don't. Slab says, Sooner fan, go Pokes! I don't even know what it means, but I think it's a sports thing.
Yes. That is true. We are cross-platform, so all the chats you guys are seeing are coming in from Twitch, Periscope, from YouTube, and Facebook. So kind of crazy. I also like this one from Sarcastic Honey Badger, who says, a woman with a million distractions should not drive and stream.
That's true.
Well, that seals the deal right there.
It's a fair point.
Sooner fan also says, Danae, you know that Aaron is always the buzzkill of your great ideas.
Listen, you can say buzzkill, you can say realist, you can say killjoy, You can say
shoot.
Logical thinker. I don't, whichever category you want to put it in.
Someone like me needs someone like Aaron in a way, though, because...
And vice versa.
Yo, I was just thinking about all the crazy things that we would have tried and be so exhausted by if we did everything that I thought of over the years. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
I have a very vivid imagination, which is why I love to share ideas so much. Just kind of circling back and then just wrapping up this first topic. In this chat that I got to do at this conference, it was kind of like volleying back and forth ideas and problem solving. And since I have so many ideas, I can't do them all. I've really loved sharing them with other people. People say I should get paid for that. But even if I can't get paid for that, maybe for my brainstorming skills or for my problem solving skills or consulting or whatever, it's just really cool to think like I can help to influence just this creativity in the world. So it was a fun and unexpected outlet. I never really felt too stressed about it. I was just excited, and that's a first for me too. Nice. I think there's a DNA in the past, DNA version whatever 0.0, that would have been really stressed out and thinking I had to be perfect before showing up on stream.
Sure.
I would have had to look perfect, be perfect. And this one was just like, take me as I am. I don't know everything, but I'm here to facilitate conversation. Let's go. And it was just so great. So I was really excited to share that with you guys today.
Nice. As we head into my topic for the day, we will continue the conversation. SoonerFan4321 says he's referencing our in-state rival, OSU, Oklahoma State. That's why I was like, wait, Sooners and Pokes aren't the same. Just know the series football record is OU leading 89-18-7.
We have cross-platform banter right now.
Yeah, we do.
We are encouraging.
Cyregdo says, so there are two other Oklahomans in the DNA community. I feel community. LOL.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome, Okies. All are welcome. So
I do love this one from Caleb too. One of the first times watching you live.
That's right.
You were driving and periscoping years ago. Man, we had so much fun. Did
Caleb find us on like one of those early Perry Poppins?
Was it a Perry Poppins?
It might have been.
Oh, Caleb. And then, hey guys, I just want to, I know you all are getting to know each other. Caleb is actually driven from where he lives all the way to Missouri for one of Aaron and I's live shows that we did years ago. So, and we actually got to go and have like donuts afterwards before he drove all the way back to get to school on time. So huge shout out to Caleb.
Yeah, absolutely. Ready for me to head into the A topic?
Yeah, let's do it.
What is a phrase from your childhood that your family teases you about? I feel like we all have these, right? Where we're a kid and we're not sure exactly what phrases are correct. And so we make stuff up and then your family will tease you through your life. So I'm really excited to hear like some of your childhood phrases or older phrases that your family teases you about. This comes from a post from a friend on social media whose child, I think it was... Let's go with Friday. The Friday after the election. Woke up and told her mom, hey, Mom, do we have to watch the map show again today?
The map show.
It is such a great explanation of election coverage. It was the best explanation I'd ever heard. And it's just as kids, you just have this way of encapsulating things that's different, unique, and is kind of funny. And so I will never call election coverage anything other than the map show.
The map show. That is so cute.
Right.
Man, it was easy for me to think of one that Iris just did. I think I've told the story, The Dog is on the Moon. Have I told the story on this show before?
I'm not sure.
I'll just briefly say it again. Yeah. She was driving around with her grandpa. And when they got back to the house, she runs in and she tells grandma that she just heard a really silly song on the radio. And grandpa's smiling really big and she's talking about this dog on the moon. And grandma's like, what is this song? You start thinking about songs on the radio and dogs on moons, and they don't go together. And then grandpa starts singing it. And if you listen to Christian radio, you'll know this one. Dog is on the moon, hallelujah. It's a song called God is on the Move.
Right.
Hallelujah. But she was hearing it as Dog is on the Moon.
Dog is on the moon. Amazing.
So I'm loving this one. We're going to keep this one. It's a strong contender for my tattoo. I have a couple of tattoo ideas. And one of them, I just want to do something silly. But I would love to have a dog on the moon tattoo because
nice.
we have phrases in our home about the moon. It's a really like a special symbolism thing. We love dogs. And just how funny is it that it could go together and also remind me of this like really funny moment of like her youth. And so I'm actually thinking about getting a tattoo of a dog on a moon based on this silly phrase. So
that's amazing. Dog is on the moon.
Dog is on the moon.
Polly says, I love this. People used to call me Polly to tease me, but I flipped it on them and use it now thanks to advice from my freshman history teacher. Great teacher.
Whoa.
Great teacher who was able to say to you, hey, take the power away
like
from
own
them.
It.
Own the power. Now, this can go to some deep places, but when you look at how words are used in communities that have been negatively impacted, having words used against them, they will it's called reclamation. It's called verbal reclamation. They will reclaim damaging words to take the power over those words. And, and so it is a very powerful way to steal power from someone who thinks they can hurt you with, the words that they use, those kind of things. So
mine growing up was people calling me weird. And it seems like a really like simple word, but when people tell it to you, like you're weird and they say it so negatively, I heard that every day, all the time growing up, like you're weird. And then by the time I got to middle school, I was angry about it, wearing dark lipstick and shoving people into lockers. But anyway, I got over it and started to use the word weird as just a descriptive. So I've definitely experienced that too. It's a really powerful experience for sure. I like this one from Sooner Fan. Can I do this one?
Sure.
Sooner Fan says, I got duped late the night before we went tubing. The boat owner confused me by saying the water is too wet.
Sorry, we're not going to be able to go out.
Sorry.
Water's a little bit on the wet side today.
Can't do it. And you're like, oh,
so
okay.
we need to wait for the water to dry off just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll just come back tomorrow. All right. Cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Nick says, I was reading a book and pronounced rendezvous as rendezvous out loud while telling my parents about the story. I am still teased to this day about it. Those are mispronunciations are fun ones too, where they're words you've only read, and then the first time you say it out loud, you get looks and you're like, oh, I've been saying it wrong in my head for 30 years. Like, they're just those words that happen that way. So.
My mom and dad, my mom is in the chat. She will confirm they listened to me say a word incorrectly. And then when I was like 13, I was reading and I read the word suitcase. And I was like, what is suitcase? I know what it's saying. I know that it's when you pack up your suitcase, but it's soup case. Because my parents had heard me say it wrong and they thought it was adorable and they kept
never corrected you.
Never corrected me. They just said they loved hearing me say soup case. They thought it was cute. So then it took me till I was like 13 to figure out it was actually suit case. Because it was cute. That is cute. Yeah. I understand that one.
Yeah, I used to call helicopters helicopters.
That's so cute.
I used to call washcloths squeeze cloths. And the other one was bird festivals. Anytime there were a bunch of birds, I used to say, hey, look, it's a bird festival.
It doesn't always happen when you're a kid, though. I want to tattletale on Aaron and I. We were doing a morning show.
Oh, no.
Live morning show.
Oh, yeah.
This is like in 2012, I want to say.
Yeah.
When
it was long enough ago that this makes sense.
when quinoa had first started to really become popular as an item that more people were cooking with and trying out.
Yeah.
And so it was not a regular word that you
I never heard of it before.
Spoke. So the entire live morning show, the entire show live to the entire city and surrounding areas, we said quinoa.
Quinoa. So have you tried this new quinoa that people are cooking with?
We probably
it's really healthy.
Really healthy for you.
Quinoa.
We probably actually have the audio from that show somewhere if we listen to it. It was, and then I think it was, no one corrected us because thankfully no one knew, I don't think, but we incorrectly told all these people it was called quinoa. So then they go to their friends, start talking about quinoa, probably getting made fun of as well. And we finally figured it out that someone said quinoa and we're like, oh no.
All right, Lolly. All right, we're going to share this one since you shared it with us. Everybody ready? Everybody okay?
Mm-hmm.
Lolly says, when I was 3, my mom took me to the ballet. I loudly asked, what's the lump in that man's tights? I'd say you probably got teased for that one for a while.
Bravo. Way to ask the important questions, though.
Well, honey, men and women are designed differently with different parts. It's actually an easy conversation.
I mean, like as a parent, that's just not the time to talk about it, though, right?
That's right. Well, it's that loud thing in a crowded theater kind of thing, which by the way, used to happen. People used to go to crowded things.
Like, together. I just want to know what the mom said. Like, just loudly be like, "Well, we'll talk about it later," or was it like, what do you say?
Well, if she's anything, I think I've told the story about me asking my grandma if she had a penis. Haven't I told that story? I'm not sure if I've told it on here.
It's hard to remember because we talk about it so much.
It really is. But yeah, when I was younger, I think, in that range, maybe 4 or 5, something like that. We were in a car, so we were like all trapped together. And I asked my grandma if she had a penis. And my mom's response was, well, answer him, Mabel. Well, answer him, because we just talked. We just talked about that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. Mispronunciations and those kinds of questions are great. I'm fully expecting there to be many because Iris has a booming voice, and I'm pretty just honest with her. So we'll see how that plays out.
I used to pronounce crayons and crowns until I started working with kids on summer, and my coworker told me I was saying it wrong. So now I just call them by their brand names because I still can't say it right. Crayons is one that's pronounced differently by a lot of people. And the strange thing about words is they change. We change them by how we, say things. So, it's not wrong. It's just different. Communication is just agreeing on the sounds that represent things. So, yeah. Interesting.
Wow. These are great.
Yep.
I'm looking at suitcase.
There's some I don't know that I could put. Let's just do it. Zalia says, it's hard to remember because you talk about your grandma's penis so much. Was not on my bingo card for today. Listen, that's funny. That's just funny. That's just funny, Zalia.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. There is one though, to relate to another personal story of mine. There's one that I get told a lot. And this is because the question was that they kind of tease you about. This is one I would say is right on the money for me, not just an adorable thing, but that I actually still get teased about. Although now that my grandparents are aging and my great uncles and aunts have passed away, I don't really hear this one very much anymore. But growing up, it was always about me having an accident and going to the bathroom when I wasn't in the restroom, and then I guess I looked really pathetic, and I said when they're like, "Do you need to go to the bathroom?" and I said, "Too late," and I guess it was really pathetic looking and really adorable. So much so that in my office I have a book called "Too Late" that my uncle gave to me. So it's just that thing that happened when I was 3 or something. I was really little. I don't remember.
Thank you, Uncle, for memorializing in word and papyrus the moment I wet myself as a child. I really appreciate your thought and care in that gift for me.
Here's one from my mother that wanted me to tell the goose and gander story. So I'm gonna do that one. So
all right, while you tell this, I'm gonna start looking for you questions. We'll kind of move into that. So if you have a you question, go ahead and get it in there, a topic or a question you want us to talk about. Go ahead and pop that in there.
So when I was old enough to know better, my mother and I were having a conversation. I was calling a female goose a gander, and the male goose a goose, and she was correcting me that it's actually opposite. And I was furious. I was debating this, as if you can debate a word that
you can.
You can. Because I was like, no, it's a gander because women are beautiful to gander at.
Nice.
And that was my reasoning. And she was just cracking up laughing, no, a gander. And we're just going back and forth. So that's become one where we will switch them around to this day just for fun. So That's that story. Okay, so here's the part of the show where we go to you guys. Any question goes. We don't have to answer any question, but we will just jump into your topics here at the as we get towards the end of the show.
Steven says, have you guys ever gotten to do a collaboration with any other YouTuber? If not, who would you guys like to work with?
That's a good question.
our DMs are open. Like, no, I don't think we've ever collabed really with anybody. I mean, I have with movie stuff sometimes on the Sif Pop side of things.
Yeah, that's true, because there was like John Paula.
Yeah, John Paula, and several others on YouTube. That we've done collab reviews, different things, Geekvolution, different things.
Yeah, definitely on the Sif Pop side of stuff, we've done that.
But never on the DNA side, and I'm honestly not sure what that would look like or who that would be. The way we've got this set up, we're certainly able to bring more people to the table. If somebody wanted to hang out with us for a morning that's a YouTuber and wanted to, send us a DM, we can handle those one at a time and just figure out what we want to do. But we're open to requests, but it's it's never been done. Danae, you're more kind of in the YouTube community. Who was somebody you'd love to collab with?
Are you telling me? Are you asking me who is a dream collab right now?
Yeah, dream collab. Yeah.
Oh,
our fans will make it happen.
No, they can't because Jenna Marbles left.
Danae.
I can't. My dream collab would have definitely been Jenna Marbles because I feel like we have a really kindred personality style. But she bounced, so that's never going to happen. And honestly, it was never going to happen anyway. But when a celebrity leaves a platform, you're like, no, it's really never going to happen. Whatever little hope I had is gone there. So, but there's a lot of really fun people out that I would love to talk with. Although most of the people that I watch on YouTube are not like reviewers and personalities in a show like this. They're mostly like just straight entertainment. So it would be interesting to figure out who that would be.
Yeah, the YouTube collab thing is interesting to me because it's kind of this whole different culture, right? Like there's this different aspect to it, because when I think in terms of this, my brain is built for more the radio side of this, where it's like, who do you want to interview? Who do you want to come on the show and talk to?
Yeah.
And so I think of people like Penn Jillette. I would love to have a conversation with Penn Jillette. I would love to have
big, dude. That's
I'm just
huge.
Saying, no, I'm just saying. Like,
I know, I love it.
I have this list. Daniel Negreanu, the poker player. I'd love to have a conversation with him. So there are people that I would love to chat with. I guess one that maybe threads that needle a little bit is Jeff Cannata. Would love to have Jeff Cannata on the show.
That would be
He's definitely
awesome.
a YouTube personality. He's definitely someone.
He's
in the
a dungeon master
universe.
for Dungeons and Dragons, and I would take over the conversation, and you wouldn't get to talk at all because I'd be talking about Dungeons and Dragons the whole entire time, and then you'd be sitting there going, "Wait a second, this is the person that I liked first," and I'd be like, "You shush, I have questions."
Listen, this is what I'm saying. If you're talking from dreams that will never happen to like things that might happen, Jeff's right there in that sweet spot, because not only does he have the movie stuff that we could talk about, he has the D&D stuff that he and Danae could talk about. There's video game stuff that we could talk about. And he's also
he's human. We could talk about that.
He is human. He's also aware that we exist. He follows me on Twitter. We've hung out. Like I say, hung out.
We spent time together.
We've spent time together. I got a chance to buy him a meal once and hang out and chat. And so like Jeff Cannata is definitely one I think would be a lot of fun. It doesn't seem likely to ever happen, but again, we've got dozens of fans. So,
at least 3 guys.
At least.
Okay. So there's been some suggestions for people that we could have.
Okay.
Polly says Jonathan Watkins. Sooner
we
fan
could
says,
probably make that one
have you
happen.
guys heard of CinemaSins? They
All
could
right.
do a collab.
All right, fair enough.
Nick says a live BTS, so that's kind of fun. But Lolly says, when do we get Danae's mom as a guest to tell us live stories from Danae's childhood?
That exists.
Sarcastic
that
says
exists, by the way.
Yep. Sarcastic Honey Badger says, Lolly, she has done that on old Shoot the Dough episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've had our moms on before, for sure.
And then Pixies, which I think is one of the creators on Twitch who does wood burning, if I'm correct on that.
Okay.
Says Brazy Lady is the best guest you could have, in my opinion. So we're just getting some way on that one.
Nice. Nice. So yeah, there's obvious stuff like that we could do, but no, great question. I've got another one if you're ready, Danae.
Yeah.
Archimedes Amazonas says, you question nap or no nap during the day. No, never.
Yeah.
Hate them.
Take
Danae?
it when you can. I mean, if you're tired and you need a little, I have to I figured out that there's got to be a window for it, because I have started to not be able to just wake up and just get back to life. Mm-hmm. There's another lull that comes. Yeah. And so, but yes, for me as a mom, getting tired, working, sometimes 50 hours a week or more, and running a game a couple times a month that takes time to prep for, yeah, I definitely need to just, like, my body will be like, you need to sleep. However, yesterday I woke up, I had to catch up on work since I took the day off on Tuesday to go to the conference. So I was really kind of behind on work. By 11:30,
go to the conference.
By 11:30, I had done so much work to get caught up that I was immediately tired and ready for a nap. 11:30 a.m. is, I think, a little bit too early, though, because I still had so much to do. I was afraid that I would have slept until 5, and then I would have just been done.
Right? That's the thing.
So,
listen, if you're going to come at me with the articles that say that napping is good for you and refreshes you, you need to go by what those articles say, which is power napping, which is the idea that you can dial down for half an hour, nap for half an hour, and then get back at it. This is not about sleeping for 3 or 4 hours during the afternoon. If you're doing that, you're not sleeping well enough at night, in my opinion. And so, like,
you're taking a long rest 2 times in a day to regain your energy and your magic, and that's just breaking the system, and it's against the D&D rules, guys.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking of it in Dungeons and Dragons terms, for sure. When I was speaking, yes.
Yeah, Lolly's like, day sleeping makes me groggy. I have disordered sleep, so I get tired, but my body prefers me just to power through. That's kind of Aaron. I've actually...
Well, except for the disordered sleep. I sleep well at night, so yeah.
Aaron, if he sleeps, he wakes up mad and angry and frustrated.
I hate napping so much that when my body's like, no, you're going down because you didn't get enough sleep last night, and I sleep during the day, I wake up angry. And
it's grumpy.
I get nap attacks.
He's grumpy.
Yeah.
Great question. I love napping though. I love it less now that I have so much more to do, which is a bummer.
Mariella says, "You topic. How are the plants, Danae?"
Great question. Let me show you an example. I think it's technically alive, but not. It's okay. This is one of many.
All right.
It did have about 17 more. There were a lot more things going on. This is my fern. You can see it's kind of like dark around the edges. I don't know how to care for ferns, apparently. But technically, it's still alive. The one that I cut the root off of and was drooping and super sad and didn't make it. So I pulled all of the barely clinging to life parts out and I threw it away. And it was a bummer.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Thanks for bringing it up. All right, I'm looking through for some more you questions. Of course, if you got them, throw them in the chat there.
But here's another one. It's doing really well.
Oh, nice. That's doing a little better.
Yeah.
Caleb says, update, I have gotten gas. I am no longer stranded. Smiley robot face.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
You made it. Oh, my goodness. The first time that I ran out of gas, no. After running out of gas many, many times, then running out of gas on this one occasion, I was like, there's no way. The gas gauge says it's full, and our gas gauge was broken. That was such a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. I wish I could just have a car that didn't need gas. Oh, wait, I could if I have tons of money.
Well, figure out a way to have tons of money. How hard is it, right? I see lots of people
apparently not that difficult, because I'm a millionaire already, right?
I see lots of people that have tons of money. I'm like, well, they obviously didn't work that hard for it, so it must be really easy. That's all the you questions I see, unless you saw another one.
I saw one like super early on, but I don't. Did you get them all?
That one, yeah. Okay. I think I hit them all.
Okay, cool.
So there we go.
Wow, we did it. We did the show.
Thanks, guys.
I'm like way
Appreciate
over
your
here.
Time. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Want to center yourself a little better?
Yes, I actually, man.
Get centered. Danae.
Speaking of being centered, I want to figure out how to make this arm thing go away. I've been trying to figure out if I could mount it to the ceiling somehow, so it just
so then it'll hang down in front of your face. Yeah,
yeah, just directly in front of my face.
That makes a lot of sense.
I got to figure something out though, because this is not working.
Yeah,
this would be better, but
yeah,
right,
but your mic thing is a little wobbly.
Yeah,
that's a little wobbly woo. So
it's a very expensive piece of equipment that made Aaron really nervous.
Yeah. We need to get going. Danae is about to break her microphone. So
it's like a $700 mic today. Quit it.
As always, we appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with us. I guess we should do an update on the shirt. The poll has closed. We have still...
Oh, yeah.
I still have not done the research on the mesh shirt, so that will determine what the 4 choices are. But the Twitter poll to decide what shirt I will wear for 5 days in a row will be live this weekend. It will start this weekend. It will run for about a week, is what I'm going to set it for. And then I'll have a shirt to order. And then
so for those of you who are not new and haven't been watching,
what the deal is with that.
We so we have a Patreon, but we barely really talk about it. When we relaunched this show in this format, we just made this offhanded joke that if we got more supporters, that Aaron would wear something other than a black shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And that seemed to spark a lot of excitement. And so you guys submitted shirt options. They are quite ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And right now our Patreon supporters are voting on them. And then once there's a
that
dragon
poll is
shirt.
Closed, by the way, on Patreon.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. You just said that. There's like a dragon shirt and there's like some silly pun shirts. Those are all going to go for a live vote on Twitter now. And then Aaron will be getting a different shirt. And for 5 episodes, he will wear something other than a black shirt. In the meantime, we're going to be going to 41 subscribers or supporters rather on Patreon. That's patreon.com/StudioDNA.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get to 41, the audience has requested that Aaron and I play Dungeons and Dragons. He's never played before. I'm a brand new dungeon master, so we're going to do a little one-shot game for you guys.
Yeah.
So that is that. The Patreon just has one level of support. It's $5 a month. And you just have access to all of the different podcasts that we have on our Studio DNA network. As this audience grows and shifts and changes, we might do different things there. But right now we're just kind of starting where we're at. And that's the only perk that we have. We kind of just simplified over on that platform.
I will mention this because Lolly mentions it while we're talking about support. By the way, does everyone know that Amazon Prime, if you have Amazon Prime, so check that in your mind, do you have Amazon Prime, gives you 1 free Twitch subscription. In other words, you can subscribe to 1 free Twitch channel with your Amazon Prime membership. Danae and I both have Twitch channels, and I know mine's set up for that. I don't know if yours is. I know you were still working on some of that stuff. But
Twitch is like my nightmare. I've been trying, and I will continue to try. I have to figure some stuff out because your girl is not good at the twitching.
But that is direct financial support for us as well.
For Aaron, if you just want to send it straight to Aaron's pocket. I'm kidding. You can do whatever you want.
Anyhow, I just thought I'd mention it because Lolly mentioned it. So yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. You can find us many ways. Actually, let's just talk about that too. Wherever you guys are watching right now, whether you're watching on Twitch or Periscope or YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching us right now, if you click to get a reminder, you'll know when we go live on throughout the week. We go live every Monday at 9 a.m. And then some days throughout the rest of the week, if we're able to jump on, we will. But we'll see you guys every single Monday. And we really, really appreciate getting to spend this time with you. It gives us life and energy. You're also welcome to connect with us on Patreon. As we mentioned, it's patreon.com/StudioDNA. And massive shout out to those of you who are already giving every single month just because you want to. It means a lot to us.
Yep.
It helps us to do a lot of things. In fact, the streaming option is literally because you guys started giving to us, and so we are able to like increase our streaming bandwidth and things like that. So
in fact,
really appreciate
the camera that Danae forgot to use this morning is a direct result of Patreon support. So
I know.
Appreciate that very,
if people
very much.
give to us on Patreon instead of you on Twitch, maybe I can get this new like arm thingy too.
That's right. Either way, we love you just for hanging out with us. We do. It's so much fun, and we will see you on the next Monday or someday. Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.